Welcome to Can Do Conversations. I am Cheryl Williams, the Can Do Mom.
I'm CJ Williams, the Can Do Dad. Thank you for being here.
Welcome. We are happy to have you here joining in on another conversation today.
Yes. Pull up your chair.
Come on. Hey.
Come join the conversation.
Grab a cup of tea or coffee or
some chai.
Whatever. It's so nice. It's nice and warm. Cheers. You know, when it's cooler, sometimes your hands get a little cold and stuff. So if you have something warm, it's like a hand warmer. I have to hold it just like this, just for a little while. Warm
or you
my
can put your hands somewhere else where it's warm too.
Okay. This is the conversation.
Yes.
Don't know what show that is, but that's
Evening.
the after hours show. All right, so today's conversation is going to be on manifestation. See it, say it, feel it.
Yes.
Because we feel like a lot of times
you have to say it.
Manifestation is just like this thing. People say, it is, right? I'm gonna say it, it's just gonna appear.
And then they're done with it.
Like a genie, right? You're gonna put out your wish, and your wish is going to appear. And
let me rub that lamp.
There it is, right? And so we
more action than that.
Demystify what it really is to manifest something
without the smoke and the genie
and the mirrors, because sometimes there's those too, right?
Yes, smoke and
so
mirrors.
I love watching genie shows. That's all great. You get your 3 wishes, but what's nice about manifestation is you get more than 3, right? You can get you can have anything and everything you set your mind to. The caveat to that is not just what you set your mind to. You have to take action on that, right? And so it's much better than having your own personal genie and lamp that you can rub, because you really are in control of what you're getting by the thoughts that you're having, the things that you're seeing, and the actions that you're taking.
And what you wish for from a genie, they don't always turn out good either.
And sometimes you wish for certain things and you're like, dang, I didn't really want that.
No, it turns out the opposite.
Right. So we're done with genies. Boom. It's time to get down to real.
Nitty gritty.
Right?
Yes.
And we always talk about we're having raw, real, honest conversations here. And so the real conversation here is so many people, either they believe in manifestation or they don't. There's two ways. That's just hoity-toity, nothing. Or people believe in manifestation, but a lot of times there's a middle ground in there, because some people think I'm gonna see it and I'm going to visualize it. I'm gonna say I want it. And I'm just going to sit here and it's going to come true, right? And I'm like, no, that's not going to work that way. Or other people are like, I don't believe in any of that at all. You've got to work hard.
Like The Secret.
Whatever you get, you get. Yes. And The Secret, while it had a lot of good components, there was a lot that people took. The thing that they took from it is they didn't have the action behind it. It's like, I want this. I can see it. I say I want it. But now I can feel it.
I wish I can.
Right?
I wish I can. Yep.
And yet they're not taking the consistent action to get it.
Right. They don't talk about it. They don't plan and take no action.
And that's our thing. You got to talk about it, put together a plan, and then you got to take action on it, right?
Always.
And the same is true for manifestation. And for a while, I've been wanting to update my vision board. Since we moved, I hadn't had a new vision board. I had things that I knew that I wanted. I had things that I would write down every day. And I just hadn't taken the time to put it together. It used to be, back in the day, we would get our foam boards.
Go to the dollar store.
Or Walmart, or wherever you get your foam boards, right? And you get your foam board. And then you'd go and get a whole bunch of magazines
from everywhere and anywhere.
And then it updated from there. It was like, then you could go online and print things off so you could slap them on there. But the new way is I have made a digital vision board. And I absolutely love it.
Beautiful.
So I used Canva. And I just went in, you can use anything, but I went in there and Canva has a lot of photos and you can go online and get your photos. And pretty much it was just like my wish is my command. So it was like, I want this, put it on there. I want this, put it on there. I want this, put it on there. And so a whole collage, it was so much faster. It's something I've been putting off. That's how it always is, right? The things you're putting off, because I don't have time for it. I'll do it later.
It's not on your task list.
It was on my list, but not at the top of the list of things that needed to get done.
It's
to move
all the
needle.
extras.
And so I put it off for so long. I'm doing it. I'm making one of my action items for the day.
And now I have to make one.
And now you need to make one. Because now that I have it done, I'm like, one, it didn't take very long. 2, I love seeing it. So what I've done with the digital vision board is I made almost like when our son's like, he's like, oh, it's a collage. Yes, it's basically a collage of a bunch of different photos or maybe words or things that have meaning to you. And so I made mine because it has meaning to me. what he is going to make is going to be what
Yes.
the kids make for their, it's all different. And so that's what's nice about vision boards is, and I call them vision boards versus dream boards, because I think a vision is something that you see and that you're working towards, right? It's something that you know what you want and you're going towards it. A dream is more like that wish thing that we talked about,
Yes,
right?
that's when
a
you think
dream
about that
is,
genie again.
is a
Yep.
wish that you haven't
Your
taken
command.
action on. A vision is something that you've said this is what you're doing and you're taking action towards that vision. And
Well,
so
it's always great to be able to close your eyes and see it. But then when you have it right in front of you, where that you're on every day, you're on it all the time, and you even have it for your phone also, right? Did you?
Well,
I saw in Canva you made a phone version.
I made a phone one. I got to tweak my phone one because I made a phone one with the dimensions it said, but then the phone was, you know how it stretches it or puts it out? So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because the option was to stretch it so it would fit, but then it cut off a few things on the sides. I'm going to need to push it in a little bit more. Or you could make it fit, but then it blurs out the top. And the top stuff's important too. So I'm going to need to just make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to have to play with that a little bit more.
But to be able to see that is an awesome
And so what I did
thing.
is I changed the wallpaper to my computer. Right?
Yep.
Am I on my computer every day? Sure am, right?
Yes.
And so it makes it the lock screen. So as soon as I open my computer, it's there. And so I can see it. And it brings a smile to my face every time. I'm like, yes, okay, this is what I'm after. This is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm going for. And so now I can see it. Even when I had a vision board before, it wasn't it wasn't on a go vision board. It was like, it had a spot and that's where it sat. And most days
and it was like,
see it.
15 years ago, it was like in a closet or something.
Yeah, it's
So
like
it was-
after a while,
I remember
kind of
that.
just stuff gets here and there. It's like
Yeah, it
you
gets
have it
put
on the
aside
wall, or you have
somewhere.
it in your book, or you have it. But
You're
now
not gonna see it.
the digital ones bring it to life even more because it's in full color, right?
Right.
I can change things out, right? I can, you know what? I want more of this, or I want to change that. You can make it the aesthetic that you want it to be. You can have it say things that mean things to you, not just what's
Yes.
available in a magazine or what you can. So go on to Canva. Create
Think
your
about-
vision board. What are the things that
Yes.
you want? And
And have an idea and write them down first.
that's the more thought you put into it, the easier it is to put it together. So,
Have a meeting with yourself. Not
where-
meeting other minds, because this is not
this
ours.
is unique to you.
This is your vision board.
Now, there could be some things on there that are overlapping, right?
Right.
I would hope that we would have certain things that are on there, like more vacations, more
yes.
family time, certain
Most
houses that
of
we're
them are the
looking
same,
for,
yes.
locations. But there are still things that are specific to
different.
me, right?
Yes.
And so what I have done with that is, it speaks to me. And so the one that he's creating is going to speak to him. The one that you're going to create is going to speak to you. But having an idea, letting your mind wander. And when you start getting into that creative flow state, it's amazing how fast the ideas and things come. I'm actually going to have to update my board because since I've done it, which hasn't been that long ago, I have more things I want to add to it. I'm like, I want to add this, or I want to add that. And
So it's always
you can
tweakable.
always be adding things, but you're constantly seeing it. And so when we do our visualization and we do our manifestation on that, we're seeing it. Well, now it's
that's what
it's
you're gonna
front
see.
and center on my screen now as well. There's going to be one on my phone. And so while I'm picking up my phone or I'm on my computer, or I'm here or there, it's top of mind all the time.
But what's going to happen now, since she sees it all the time, her plans are going to be even better. Her plans are going to be even more detailed because you know what you're striving for. So you're going to go for even maybe more. You're going to go for more because you're not going to pick something that's small that you can obtain in a month or so.
Stretching.
You want to stretch it
Grow.
so you can go for that.
And so that's what we talk about. See it, say it, feel it, right? If you can say the words and then you can see it visually and then you can close your eyes and you can feel what it would feel like to be there or to have that or to do that or to
Yes.
experience that.
And have that sand between your toes.
And so some of those things, just to help you with, what are you wanting to manifest? Where are you wanting to go? Some things like, where do you want to live? Right? What is the home, your dream home
Do you
look
want
like?
one place or you want a few?
Do you want multiple? Is it in the mountains? Is it on the beach? Is it on the lake? Is it, on some hill countryside?
Right. East Coast,
Is it,
West Coast.
Like, where are you wanting that? What type of weather are you wanting? Are you wanting more than one house?
Do you want to get out of the United States?
Do you want to travel? Where are the places that you want to travel? Are you wanting to travel alone or are you wanting to travel together? Are you wanting, beach trips? Are you wanting long weekend getaways? Are you wanting week or too long excursions are you
Do you
wanting to
want
go?
fishing trips with the guys?
Do you want to go camping? Do you want to go hunting? Do you want to go exploring? Do you want to go scuba diving? Do you want to go on a yacht?
Yes.
Do you want to go do lake activities? Do you want to, like, what are some skill sets that you want to learn? What are things that you want to
Right.
learn
Are
to
you
do?
scared of the water where you want to do that fishing trip, but you're not going to do it because you're scared of the water and being on a boat? So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to get swim lessons so you can get more comfortable. We've even done that.
Yeah. And so then, you know, what types of foods do you want to eat? How do you want your body to look? How do you want your hair to
Do
look?
you want a chef?
What kind of conversations do you want? What kind of relationships do you want? What words speak to you? What words have meaning to you and impact? What are you wanting to do for money? How are you making money? How are you impacting the world? How are you giving back?
Are you giving away all your money?
Are you, how are you helping your children? How are you
Helping your church?
All these types of things. What types of books do you want to read? Do you want to be a best-selling author? Do you want to create music? Do you want to, get on video? Do you want to
What do you want to write about?
Do you want to have your own events? Do you want to have your own platforms? Do you want to, these are
There's
the
so many
kinds
things.
of questions, and there's no right or wrong. There's just what you want, right?
If you want to be on
And-
stage, you'll have a picture of a stage.
Right. And so just little things, pictures, it's like a moment in time, little snapshots, right? That mean something to you. What I see and what I want is not the same thing that you want.
No.
And so you have to pick images and things that do
wanna
something
strive
for
for.
you, that make you want to do the actions that you need to do to get you closer to having that
Right.
thing that you want.
Not something that you heard a long time ago.
No.
That you don't care about. It's going to have to be what you care about inside, just for you.
And, because these are digital, you can change them. And so maybe
Yes.
we do 90-day increments. So what my plan is now is every 90 days, I'm going to check in. Is there something that we already obtained? So I can now take that off because we've already gotten it. Is there something I don't want to do anymore? That's not really a driving, motivating factor for
And
me anymore.
that's going to change.
That
big
can
time.
come off. Okay, what are some more things I wanted? Those can go on. And so you can change and tweak. You could have something different, one vision board or look. You could have multiple ones. Maybe you have some that are like screensavers that fly up.
And this is going to be more fun for you.
Yeah.
Right. That's a very good idea. Your screensaver could be your vision board. That every image is something different that you want.
Right.
But you might not see it as much because you have to wait till it closes down actually for it
You
to
can
pop
also
up.
make it where I was having a challenge getting it all to fit on one, thing. And so it's like, okay, maybe they have settings on the computers where you can have it change out every half an hour, every minute, or however,
Yes.
every day it changes, or a couple times a day. You could have
Remember those screensavers on picture frames.
Right, you can
the
do
picture
that.
frames.
The same thing with your phone. They now have on the phones that you can have multiple different, looks of your screen. You
Yeah, just
to
slide
one,
it to the
slide to
side.
the other. You could have one on your home screen and one on your lock screen. Like you can do.
Yep, and it'll change daily.
The sky is the limit. And really, this is like, you've got to dream. This is
Yes.
your time to, how you manifest is you feel it within yourself. You want it to your core. And
That's when you get the chills. That's
vibration.
The vibration, the chills. I feel it right now.
Yeah, so do
just
I.
by saying it. Us being on a yacht somewhere in the islands, just being together with the family.
or like going to the Mediterranean or going to Italy or going and experiencing the culture and the food. Or maybe you want to go to
Yes.
Bali, or you want to go to Japan, or you want to go to
Here,
Australia.
here.
Or you want to, maybe you want to, build out a team in your business, or you want to give back to your community, or you want to help your kids. Like
Maybe you want to win an award.
There's so many
yourself.
things. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's just what you want.
No.
And then
No.
you have to know that's what you want. And so then you can see it because you're
Right.
seeing it all the time.
And
you
then
say
it's gonna
it.
change.
This is what you
Yep.
want. I write down the things every day that I want.
Right, you write it down.
So now I'm writing it. So I'm
Now you're
seeing it
seeing
that way.
it.
I'm seeing it visually. I'm seeing it written out.
You're
I'm
putting it in
feeling
the universe.
When I close my eyes, I can visualize what it looks
Yes.
like. I can put myself there in that moment. And so
Mm-hmm.
all these different ways. And then
The universe will change.
because you are going to take action to get you closer to those things that you want.
Yep.
Because seeing
you
it,
told the universe that's what you want.
and not only are you telling the universe that's what you want, the universe is seeing you take action on what you want. And that's the key. That is the
The
missing
number one.
piece. The key that unlocks it is the action component. You
Yes.
have to take action because then you're actually saying you want it,
Yes.
right? You're willing to do the work it takes to get it. You're not just hoping and wishing and praying for it. You're now backing it up with action.
And what action steps are you taking daily?
Because your action is going to get you the result. And so if you're saying you want this, but your actions are not aligning with what you want, then you don't really want it.
Right.
And so that's something to look at too. It's like, I want this, I want
but
this,
I'm only going to take one action a day.
But I'm not, the actions I'm getting are taking me over here. They're not getting you closer to where you want to go.
No.
So, and the other thing is like, you have to, there's people tell you, you should want this, or you should want this, or you should do this, or you should
Close
do that.
your ears.
And so sometimes
Close your ears on that
you
kind
have
of
all
crap.
these things that you think you want, but they're not actually things that you want. It's things that someone else wants for you. Right? And so when you get crystal clear on what you want and being okay with it not being what somebody else wants, this is what you want, right?
Yes.
Then you're even more so connected to it because it's your thought. It's your idea. It's a thing that you want. You're going to take action on it. You're going to move. And when the things, things come up and stand in your way, you're going to still move through those. You're going to move past those because you know what you want because you want it.
You know what's going to happen as soon as you finish your board, you're going to look at your board and then you're going to dream about and talk about and think about every little thing on your board. What's going to happen is then you're going to realize the things you don't want because you finally have it in front of you. So the things that you created because you saw it and put it on the board because you thought it looked cool, that will change and you'll get rid of all the fluff, all the crap you're going to get rid of, and then you're going to get focused in on what you really want.
And that's where the excitement happens. That's when it clicks and it shifts because now this is actually you. This is what you want. And sometimes you're selling yourself short, right? So it's like, I just want a house. It's like, well, what kind of house, right? How many square feet?
Look?
How many bedrooms? How does
Is it Tuscan?
Look? How does it feel? How does it sound when you're in there? How does it sound when the kids are playing? What are you going to be doing in that house? Like,
do you hear the ocean behind you?
How big's the kitchen? Who are you going to have over to this house? What kind of meals are you going to? Right. What's the view that you have at this house?
Are you going to have parties? Who are you going to invite?
It's not just, I want a house. What kind of house? What does it look like? What does it feel like?
Details.
What is it, what are you going to be doing in that house, right? So the more that you can put emotion behind it,
just
the
like
more
the color
the connection.
Of the car. Just like the color of the cars that you're going to have on there, or a jet, whatever it's going to be. What color is it going to be? And find that picture.
And why do you want it?
Yep.
I think that's another reason. It's like, why
is it just because?
Do you want this? Do you want it because it means it's a status symbol? Do you want it because it means you've arrived?
Or
do you
when
want
you was
it
a kid
because it's something since you were young that you said you wanted? Do you want, like, what do you want it for, right? And the more that you can, I want it for this, I want it for that. Okay, great. Then you're connecting to it more. The more connection that you can make to your vision.
That's so important.
The more connection that you can make to the things that you say that you want. The more connection that you can make, the more that you're actually going to do what it takes to get those things.
The why.
Your reason behind that, right? And so I like to call it your connection because you're connecting to these. And the more that you can connect to all of these different things that you want and the reason that you want them and what it's going to feel like to have them and
the more
how
excited
you're going to feel.
get.
And again, it's like we come back to that thing again. Who do you have to become to get that though?
Oh, yes. You cannot be the same person you are when you're creating it. You're going to have to build yourself up and change your mindset. And your actions and your mindset to get there.
So who do you have to become? You say those are the things you want, right? Okay, now the rubber meets the road. Who do you have to become to get those things, right? Are you going to be able to stay the same person in the same location with the same actions and the same ideas? Or are you going to have to change? Are you going to have to pivot? Are you going to have to grow? Are you going to have to push? Are you going to have to do harder things? Are you going to have to make different choices? Are you got to surround yourself with different people to get to where you want to go? And usually the answer is yes, and yes, right?
Those people got to go.
And so you're going to have to figure out what you want. And then you're going to figure out, now you know what you want. And you can see it, and you can say it, and you can feel it. Now you got to figure out who do you have to become in order to make those things a reality. Not a hope and a wish and a prayer.
And be okay with it.
Who do you need to become to make that a most definite yes? This is what I want. You are going to get those things because you're becoming the person that has those types of things. That loves those types of things, that goes on those types of trips, or hangs out with those kinds of people, or lives in that type of house, or drives that type of car. You have a different confidence amongst yourself.
You're going to be moving and grooving.
And you can now, it's like, okay, you know what?
Yep.
And even just talking about it right now, I'm like, I'm ready to like,
Yes.
go, like
Let's
sitting
go.
here talking, I'm ready to like go after what we need to do to get there. But
Yes.
this is part of our plan, right? Our vision is making, Can Do Family even bigger than what it is.
Lots of plans.
On a daily basis, we're doing things towards that, right? We're having these conversations with you because we know the impact that getting back to a mindset shift and a family shift and a personal shift can make, and the
Yes.
ripple effect and the wave that it can make in the
wanting to bring
world.
them along.
And we want you guys to be a part of that, right?
Bringing you
and
along.
So how would it be if we're over here, we're creating our vision and we're creating our boards and we're manifesting, and we're just like, you guys can be on the outside looking in. We're like, no,
Yes,
we're inviting you in.
in.
To say, you know what, you can do this too. Our motto
Yes.
is, we can do it.
And so can you.
And so can you. And you guys can. And so the conversations that we're having these conversations because these are the conversations that we have. And so we're inviting you in. Just like if you were coming over to our house and we're going to sit around the table and talk, or we're going to hang out
Yes.
outside, or we're going to sit on the couch and we're going to have conversations. These are the conversations that we're having, right? These are the conversations that we're talking about. And so we want you guys
Striving
to be
for more.
clued in to the conversation, not be on
Yes.
the outside looking and be like, man, I
Yes.
really wish we could have that.
Right, or thinking about, I hope, I wish I could dream.
No, it's like you
and
can.
all that.
You can do this, right?
No.
And that's where the can-do attitude and the can-do mindset and the can-do mentality
push.
and the can-do action, that's where that talk, plan, take action that we talk about all the time is because you can do this.
Yes.
As long as you talk about it.
You gotta
put
talk
together
about
a
it.
plan and you take action on it. But also a big component of it is the manifestation, which is the visualization and seeing
Yes.
it. And knowing what you're going after, because you can say, I want to do this, and you're on
Yep.
this path. What are you doing it for? Where are you
Right.
going?
and
What's
you can
happening?
even get creative with it.
Yeah.
You can get real creative. People get really creative on that stuff. Just don't spend too long
No.
on creating, because then it'll never get done.
See, if you spend too long on the creating, you're not in the doing, right?
Right.
So put it together. Give yourself an hour.
Think about it later.
Give yourself an hour, put it together, and move on, right? And then
Yep.
see it, and then if drop some things down. Hey, I want to add this. I want to change this. I want to. Okay, then
Yep.
then check back in and do that
Put it
again.
together.
But be fast, because some people get caught in the creation mode of creating and
There'll be
thinking and
days
hoping
later,
and wishing. It's not
days.
exactly how I want.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
You got to get into the doing, because the only way that you are going to get the things that you say you want to get is by taking action consistently, starting right here, right now, moving towards what you want.
Do you think the kids would like some vision boards for
Yeah.
themselves?
So I
and
think-
put on their iPads
Yeah,
that they can watch?
That's something when Mason saw it the other day. He's like,
Yes,
oh,
they
listen,
loved
can
it
do
so
that.
much.
And they
They'll
have
be
a lot of
great
things
for
that
the
they want
kids,
and
too.
ideas. And so that's another thing we're going to be doing with them, is letting them
because
create
they want to
that.
travel, they want to do things.
They have,
They wanna
activities
swim.
that they want to participate in. So
They want
let them-
gymnastics.
and again, let that become part of who they are now, right?
Yes.
The more that we can instill in them when they're young,
And they'll keep
as
that
they
with them.
get older, they have these things that they continue to do.
Maybe we do that tonight instead of the puzzle.
Puzzle, maybe? They're going
Maybe.
to create their own puzzle.
Yes.
what they want.
Literally, it's piecing it together. Hey, we're
have-
doing a puzzle, but
We have an
it's a little
ongoing
different.
1,000-piece puzzle right now. So we have a
Yes,
table. It's
it's
a
on the
puzzle table.
table.
It's just up there.
Right there.
We take little pieces sometimes. Sometimes we come up here in groups and work on it. Sometimes,
Yes.
we just pass by and put an extra piece here and there. So
I
that's-
didn't know. I saw there was a puzzle contest where everybody has there's tables all around, and they have 1,000 piece, and they have the cardboard, the picture sitting up, and then they're timed.
How fast
And
they can
then
put it together?
How fast? Like 5 people.
Well,
And
if
they-
you don't know the trick to put together a puzzle,
Yes, the outline
do
first.
the outside first, the flat edges, then build in the rest.
Yes.
So that's
There you go.
If you already
So
know,
build
then,
your puzzle.
But build your puzzle, the puzzle of life,
Yes,
right?
the
And
puzzle
as
is you.
You have the pieces. You hold the pieces within you, and you've
Mm-hmm.
got to start putting them together and create that puzzle
Yes.
so that you can see that vision.
Yes. The
And sometimes-
future puzzle, not nothing in
not
the past.
now. And
Nothing-
not right now either. You want to be able
Yes.
to push yourself towards something that you're going after. And so when you
Yep.
can start putting those puzzle pieces together, you start seeing the vision,
Right.
right?
And if you already have it, don't put it on there.
Right. No, this is not
No.
something you have. This is something
No.
you're
Yes.
aspiring to get. You're
Yes.
going after. You're pushing. You're taking
Right.
action to get those.
And not a trip to the zoo.
Unless you really want to go to the
Right.
zoo.
Not
Maybe
the
you want
one
to go
around
to
the
like
corner.
an exotic zoo somewhere around the world. Or
Yeah,
something.
go to
Again,
Australia or something.
there's no there's no right or wrong. It's just what you want.
Yes.
And so you figure out what you want. Have a conversation with yourself. Do this. Maybe make this a date night, something that you do, or maybe make
Yes,
this a
a
family
creative.
activity. And then how often are you going to refresh? How often are
Yes.
you going to step in? And so I've made a commitment.
I already know our kids are going
Every
to want
90
to
days,
change.
They do, just they change stuff all the time. So
Yes.
every 90 days, I'm going to check in. I'm going to add things to it. I'm going to take off things
Yep.
that we've accomplished.
And I'm
that
doing
way,
mine tonight.
It stays current and fresh.
I got to do mine.
Yeah, you do.
Get
And you
excited.
guys need to do yours too. And let us know.
Do yours and
send-
tell us. Reach
send-
out. Show us.
Send some snapshots. I mean, we love seeing what
Yes.
they are. Everyone's very creative with it. Remember, just don't let the creativity
Take too long.
too much time away from the actual action of getting into the action of getting those things
Yes.
that you want.
So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys joining us today. Make sure you share this show. This is one of those
Yes.
episodes that can benefit anyone and everyone. So,
Yep, so reach
share
out.
it out there. And we love you guys. We appreciate you joining
Love
us
you.
today for another conversation. And remember, we can do it.
And so can you.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.